The whole notion of living and dying moment to moment shouldn't be a preoccupation. It should be understood. Done. So that your awareness is given to more important things than being distracted by a notion of, oh, we're living and dying every second. Everybody and everything is living and dying every second, and so, all right, get over it. Boom. It's already happened.
So it's a constant process of creation and destruction.
But we don't have anything to do with it. It's happening. It's already happened. You're part of the mess, and it's already happened. Despite you, despite what you think, despite what you feel, any changes you go through, it is what it is. There's no getting off it. And it's going to take you out because it brought you in. So you're on the way out. Actually, everybody that's in is on the way out. Know that and be prepared for it, because that's what the ride is about. Being taken out as much as being held in. And then there's those who want to be taken out because they've been held in too long and they know it, so they're willing to say, oh yes, God, whenever, as soon as possible, you know. Right? What's next? Right? So you have those people who are at that point in their cycle or their phase that they say, please, what's next? Anything is better than this. They hope. They wish, they pray, but don't know for sure.
Is there a reason to attempt to preserve conditions?
They're being preserved. You can have what you might say, the satisfaction, the self-satisfaction of thinking you're preserving conditions, but everything is helping you to preserve conditions. The whole universe is supporting you preserving of conditions, so you have, as you might say, approval of the universe, be able to do anything. Go to the bathroom, the universe allows you to do that. Go to bed, get up, make your own eggs if you eat eggs. All of that is with you might call it the acceptance of the universe, because you are part of the universe. So it's not even that it needs to accept you, you are the fact of the universe. And you are not yourself in some kind of isolated vacuum sense, but you are the universe. So you're not the self of yourself, you are the self of the physical universe, if there is such a thing. That's what you are. Everyone is. Everything is. Same thing.
Is the impulse to preserve equal to a neutral way of being?
Equal to preserve?
Is the neutral equal to preservation?
No, the neutral is whatever it is, and that's letting it be what it is. That's the neutral. Whether that's recreation, whether that's change, transformation, or whatever, the neutral is open to whatever it is. The idea of the neutral means it's okay. Neither for or against means there's room for everything to happen. And everything is happening. But you don't know what your everything is until you let it happen. Because you're thinking and feeling and reacting, assuming and believing to the degree where you're not allowing anything to happen. You're holding yourself back in a self-created, very comfortable hell of no possibility. Coffin of fear. You have to open the coffin up and start allowing the nails to pop out. So you push the door, pop the nails out. So you say, okay, enough of that kind of life or form or whatever it is that you know you need to be freed of. And that image of liberation is continuous. Everything is part of liberation. So you have to liberate yourself from everything, everyone. And then to the neutral of your already existing reality. It's already present. It's never changed. It can change. It is what it is. So you're just being open to it, and then doing what you have to do because you're open to it, rather than not doing what you have to do because you're close to it. Afraid of it. Afraid of the neutral, because of what it might imply to you as insecurity. See? It has that. And there's nothing that important. You got to find security in insecurity. That means not concern for security. And that's like trusting the fact that the universe knows better than you do about what's needed relative to your karma. But you don't allow that to happen, actually. But some people do. And they're in the flow with that. Because it was set up either by ancestors or whatever. So you're okay with what was set up because they had this sense of security. But that's not real security, but it really helps to have that kind of security if you can have it. Because beyond that you have to find security in just being the universe. Not just because you have pockets empty or full, but because you are the universe, and that's a whole reality unto itself. That's a whole different MO. Being the universe.
So is liberation a condition that we surrender to?
Liberation is a real condition. You can attempt to surrender. You can say you can do something, but you can't do anything. In other words, you're already surrendered to it, but you're not conscious of it. In other words, it's all there is. It's a surrendered condition of reality, right? Waiting for you to rest in it and understand what it is for yourself. See, beyond yourself. In other words, it always is what it is. And thinking makes it not so.
So is, let's
Or
say,
appear to be other than what it is.
so within the being, let's say, are all conditions normally present except perhaps awareness of those conditions?
Of course you have awareness of all conditions. And there's only more and more awareness of all conditions. But that doesn't mean you're going to have to suffer them. It doesn't mean you're going to have to master them. It doesn't mean it's better or worse because you're more aware of the conditions. Remember, the universe is aware of itself, and at some points along the way you become aware as the universe. You become aware as yourself, and you become aware as nothing. We call it also the spirit state, as nothing, the non-material. Hard for religious people to get that sometimes. They think nothing is a negative because they're so materialized. Only things are security, and that's good because you're materialized. Well, Earth is not good. Just as your situation and your condition, and it's already passing and changing, and you're going to be leaving here right on schedule, peeps.
So is our, let's say, mission to become aware of awareness?
Well, you can if you choose, I guess. If you're lucky enough to have some awareness, then you have it. And if you don't, who cares if you don't? Who really cares if you don't care? Right? You care, so you care. So everybody cares if you care. And nobody cares if you don't care.
Is awareness equivalent?
Or we can say everybody cares that you don't care.
Is awareness enlightenment?
Awareness? Not particularly, but we can say that out of enlightenment you have a certain quality of awareness, right? Clear awareness. So it's not that it is or isn't enlightenment. It's just a condition that very few people can access, say naturally, or even talk about as such. And it's not even that. It's less than that. It's infinitely less than that, and thus more than that.
So,
In other words, it's conceptless. So it's not disturbed. It's undisturbed awareness.
so the saying, I think, therefore I am, is that relevant to what you're saying here?
No. I think, therefore I stink, and thus I am. Right? A smell in the room. It could be that. It could be enlightened. It could be joyous. It could be happy. It could be the person being used as a channel for peace, for healing. For healing. Or for something worse. Depends. We would idealize that we're all here for peace and healing. Not everyone has a karma to go along with that. Some do, and be happy about that. Some don't, try to be happy about that.
Is awareness a way to change karma?
Not particularly, because awareness of awareness is a little formula. So you're aware of awareness, and so what? What is that going to do for you in the next 4 minutes? What does that tell you about the future? Well, I know I have awareness. That's good. I know I'm awake. I know I'm a human being. Good. It's not going to help you. Doesn't change anything. So when you get out of the mindset that you need to be awareness to be anything more, even though the awareness of awareness is helpful, but what do you do with it? It's helpful to a degree. It's just like the awareness of conditions. Oh, that sounds good. How does that help you? What conditions do you need to know about to any degree? And how does that further your cause as a person involved in nothing more than the awareness of conditions? Nothing less than the awareness of conditions. And they're not always good for most people. They're not always good conditions. They are very aware of their conditions. You can't get a higher awareness than some of the people who are in poverty. Their awareness is acute, it's sharp, it will cut steel. It's so sharp. Well, there's the awareness, and they're aware that they're poor. Doesn't change their condition particularly. They're just aware of it. Now, if they could be so aware that they were beyond the concern of poverty and realize that there is no such thing as poverty more deeply within, and that this universe as such as a problem disappears if you go deeper enough, more deeply into your consciousness, awareness might be useful. In that manner of using and being conscious of awareness that is liberated. So now we're talking about liberated awareness, not just awareness, but awareness for awareness.
Does awareness lead to our recognition of our cause?
Depends on what you know. What you know is depending upon your intelligence. So maybe it's one or the other factors that determine what you can do with what you want to call awareness, intelligence, knowledge. And so on. Conditions. So you need to be aware of conditions, you need to be aware of no conditions. You need to be aware of awareness and be aware of no awareness. In the same. In the sameness of it. In other words, you need to be free of thinking you can know yourself into what it is. You can't. You can only know yourself outside of what it really is, so to speak. Transcended, then you may know yourself as what it is.
So when we think we're deepening our awareness of ourselves, is that actually happening?
It may be. Who's to judge? You hope so. You hope so. In other words, here the paradox, the deepening of your awareness is not the deepening of your awareness. Eat that. Chew on it hard. Homito. It's impossible to get to it that way.
So by by focusing on conditions, do we change our condition?
Your conditions are being changed all the time. So it depends on what you think you can do, that you may be able to do. That you need to see about what it is that's using you in a way that enables you to believe you are in control to any degree.
And does this lead to, let's say, an awareness of a purpose or a cause?
Maybe it all leads to being here, nowhere but here. All right. So maybe you're here because everything you've been thinking all your life pointed to you being here for the moment. All your awareness of awareness and everything else that you've read and heard, you're sitting right here for the moment. So how good is that? How bad is that? But you're only just here. Is this all there is? Could there be more than this? Could there be more than now, more than being here?